Welcome back to the Paris Weightlifting Daily Preview Show. Today, we're going to be discussing the women's 59kg category and the men's 73kg category. I'm joined, of course, by the international man of mystery, international coach and commentator, Max Aita. Max, this 59kg category, 3 Olympic champions entered it. Only 2 have survived, and probably neither will win.
This is going to be a good session. I am really looking forward to the 59s because it's kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
It could go a few different ways.
Yeah, most certainly.
Let's dig into it.
Yeah, let's run through the athletes. So in number 1 ranking, we have Luo Shifang of China. No surprises there. She's got quite a dominant lead, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Kamila Konotop from Ukraine, a surprise
entry, I guess,
really.
Yeah.
We weren't sure if Ukraine was going to be allowed to compete considering their history of bans over the last quad, but Kamila is here. Maude Charron, the ex-Olympic champion from the 64s from Canada. Yenny Alvarez, world champion 2022. Kuo Hsing-chun, Olympic champion. Aniela Venegas from Venezuela. Elreen Ando, who defeated the old Olympic champion Hayden Diaz from Philippines. We've got Rafiatu Lawal from Nigeria. Yannis Gomez, Lucrezia Medristris from Italy somehow snuck in.
Yep.
Matti Sassa in the continental slot. And then we have Dora Jacunte from France, who obviously has a host nation slot. This is also one of the only categories where there isn't an athlete who was ranked really far down getting in.
Yeah.
Because Matti Sassa, she placed 12th.
Yeah.
It's pretty high. And then Dora was in the top 10. So this is going to be a pretty impressive category. Let's maybe kick things off with the world number 1, Luo Shifang, an athlete who, let's be honest, when she turned up in Bogota, we had no idea who she was. At the first Olympic qualifying event, she had lifted as a junior 5 years prior to that, but we had never seen her before, and she was, somewhat underwhelming.
Yeah, it wasn't like an amazing, super dominant performance that we've seen from the other Chinese.
Yeah, she snatched 101, she clean and jerked 129.
Yeah.
And then over this qualifying period,
grew into a total.
She really did.
248.
Yeah, unbelievable. To get to that point at the end of this qualifying period in Thailand where she hit that world record finally. She matched Kuo's clean and jerk world record of 140, but set the world record in the total with the 248, having previously done 247 at the Grand Prix in Qatar in December of 2023. But I think it was... I don't think she was in the conversation really for being one of China's 3 women until Qatar.
Yeah, with Reeves.
Yeah. Because... Reeves 71.
No, but
with Reeves beating Lao Weifang.
Yeah, with Reeves moving, with Reeves upsetting a lot.
Right.
Everyone moves around. I think that's the sort of question is. Yeah. That was.
Yeah. Suddenly there was this question in the 73s about Lao Weifang.
Yeah.
And then with Luo Shifang hitting that 139 in Qatar, it was just suddenly like, okay, you're moving clear of the chasers. I don't know if anyone else can do that.
Yeah, because once you get over that 130 number, like 130,
there's a great expanse.
Yeah, there's just not anyone in there.
Right.
Maybe the low 130s, you're going to get a couple of people that can touch that.
I think Maude might get there.
Yeah,
I think Kuo maybe could get there.
Maude, Alvarez could both get there into that 130, low 130s range.
And
Kuo for sure.
Yeah.
The question with Kuo is what condition is she in?
Right.
But above that, no one's touching 135.
No.
And to be at 140 is just unstoppable.
Yeah, absolutely. And her snatch is getting better and better. She's pushed it to the 107, 108 range. World record is 111 now.
Yeah.
With the return of North Korea, it was 110 for Kuo Hsing-chun. But so she's not necessarily the best snatcher ever in this category. No. But putting the 2 lifts together, she certainly is. Below her, it's so tight. Kamila Konotop's made 236. So has Maude. So we should maybe cover those 2 first.
Yeah, I think. Oh, we're gonna say.
No, I was gonna say maybe start with Kamila, but what do you want to do?
I think Konotop's interesting to me because Konotop always looks to have ample room for more in the tank, but then you also see Konotop maybe miss a jerk.
Yeah.
And it's like, it just looks so odd. Like, they look so strong. Everything's
Looks
great.
so strong.
And then misses jerks. And we don't see like an
That
opener.
power jerk.
Yeah. Where's that? Looks like she could open at 132.
Yes.
And we don't see those numbers.
We see the high 20s.
Yeah, it's a good. To me, it's a question of like, well, maybe it just looks easy, and it's just not there. So what's she gonna do?
I mean, I think she's in the snatch. She's very powerful.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're gonna assume that she's gonna be opening up over 100 kilos.
Yeah.
Maybe 101, 102. Take a 104 or 105 second attempt, and we might see her go for 107, 108. Yeah. And we've not seen her make 108. If she does, she becomes very dangerous in the total.
Yeah.
If she can put together something in the high 20s. She did once touch 130. That was back in Saudi. She made the 130, put up a very strong 236 total. That was her best ever performance. But I don't feel as though she has the consistency of the 64 kilo Olympic champ, Mauda Charron from Canada.
Yeah. I mean, Charron is just such a good lifter. And has such a great like clutch kind of performance. I would think that if it comes down to the last lift and it's Maude, she's going to make it. And she's going to make a big clean and jerk to get herself
so
ahead.
Good. Yeah. I mean, and she's so consistent.
Yeah.
Technically she is just flawless. She is so smooth. She has a phenomenal lockout in the snatch. She used to do. I've spoken to her a few times on the podcast. I think she said she did circus performance.
She
did that for a long time. She was really talented at it.
Yeah.
Gymnastics, I believe, before that, and now holding a barbell overhead is nothing when you juggled on a unicycle. So, but yeah, over her last 3 competitions, 18 lifts, she's made 17.
That's okay. That's okay.
She doesn't miss, and she's looking better. I mean, Thailand 106.
Yeah, that was big.
130. I just think. And you get the impression she's so strong in the jerk. You get the impression that she can do 132, maybe 133.
Yeah. The reality is 236 weighing as an overweight 59.
Yeah.
She was just under 59 kilos. Or sorry, as a on weight 59 is the same as what she did at the Olympics as a 63.
Yeah.
Right?
64. Yeah.
So you have this like clear loss of body weight, but nothing in the total.
Right.
Is impressive.
Yeah.
And it's a testament to how strong she is.
Yeah. I mean, there was. Well, I was going to say there was a drop initially, but barely.
Yeah,
a few kilos.
Yeah, and then it kind of just rebounded right up.
Yeah. She took a little bit of time off. She turned up in Colombia, hit a total, and then sort of sat back a little bit. But since returning in, was it Qatar? Pan Am Games. She's just demolishing. And she absolutely smashed it in Tokyo. There were a couple of people who said about Toma, but actually not being there. But actually, I mean, if you're to put Loredana Toma and Maude together now, obviously they're separate categories. Maude is by far the better weightlifter.
Yeah.
It's not even close. Maude deserves everything she got.
Yeah.
And heading into this one, I think she's certainly going to be a pick for a medal. Which medal? Silver or bronze? I'm not totally sure. We'll make our predictions, but
yeah, I mean
she's flawless.
Yeah, and it's one of those athletes that you could probably pretty reliably predict what she's going to do based on whatever she opens at, because she's so good at making lifts. She's going to just keep making more lifts. Whereas you might have another athlete where they open up and that might be it. Maybe take big jumps. You don't know. Konotop's one of those ones where you're not sure what's going to happen on that third clean and jerk.
Right. Yeah, that's absolutely true. I think there are probably 2 other main athletes we should touch on.
Yeah.
One of them provided us with the highlight of the first qualifying competition, Yenny Alvarez.
Yeah.
59, she, what was it that she hit? 133 in front of a home country.
That was awesome.
An enormous clean and jerk. And, maybe having that home crowd really pushed her up, because we've not seen her reach those echelons since.
Right.
So I don't know what she can do. More recently she's a 100 mid to high 120s athlete. She's not so much the 103, 133 anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, she's one of those ones for me where she's pretty good. I mean, she's really good. She's a world champion, but does she have the runway to hang with anyone else just above her? Like that 133 in Colombia might have been like like you said, like the stretch goal, the number to just that one time.
That one time.
Can she do another 133? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, everything is at that point. You just think this is to be world champion.
Yeah.
Home country.
Yeah.
Home city. Whereas if you're at the Olympics and it's make this to go from 6th to 4th.
Right.
Or something like that, it doesn't have that same, well, my life has been leading to this moment effect.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, she'll be interesting. She's a good competitor. It'll be fun to watch.
Yeah.
I just, again, not sure what the upper end is for her.
Mm-hmm. And then Kuo.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the question mark for me. Maybe the biggest question mark. And I'll preface this by saying a lot of this could just be like, I don't know why. Maybe I think there's something going on. There's some bigger numbers there because she has done them.
Yeah.
We haven't seen anything, really. Anything remarkable from Kuo, the whole qualification. And maybe that's just it.
Yeah.
She's going to punch the clock, get another Olympics under her belt, and no aspirations to fight for a medal.
Yeah.
Right?
Because leading into, obviously, her best ever, she had that 142 when she was a 58.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. But at 59, leading into the last Olympics, she hit the 110.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Press out, but they gave it.
Yeah.
I'll just,
Go there. You can go there.
I'm going to go there. But she's performed, at a lower level this entire quad.
Yeah.
And as at the start of the quad, I think we all thought, okay, she took some time off after the Olympics.
Right.
She'll build back into it. And she just hasn't. And it's been more and more of a 101, 102 kind of snatch.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that did it for me was when she missed 102 at the World Cup. And I thought, she's not holding back. She's at her limit.
Yeah.
She's just down 8 kilos.
Yeah.
And then in the clean jerk, she hit 130. She did decline that third attempt, so maybe she's holding something back. And there was that glimmer at the Asian champs in Jinju. She went for 135, and she dropped her back knee in the jerk, and it touched the ground. And she held it for 5 seconds overhead, and then let it go.
Yeah.
But it was close.
That to me is the question.
She's got the clean and jerk.
Could she do 102, 135, put herself at 237, and be
silver?
I mean, way up there in a silver.
Bronze.
And that's what, that's the question this whole time is like, does she have like this one? It's always looked like she should just have one more bigger clean and jerk. I mean, she's never been like, obviously missing, but like you just think someone who's done 142, she could do a 134, 135.
Yeah.
And that with a good snatch day it would launch her into a way, way higher place. But as it sits right now, it just doesn't seem, it's hard to know. I mean, she's got 232 here on the list, so it's not like she's super far back. She's only 4 kilos from second, but it's a tough one. It's like, are we going to see a struggle at 100 and 102, or are we going to see a 103, 104 snatch and a 135 clean and jerk?
Yeah. I don't know.
It's impossible to say right now.
And then below them, you have athletes who were competing against their teammates to make the Olympics. And my thought process is, have you had your Olympic performance in Thailand to make the Olympics? Have you done?
Right.
Have we seen the best of you? Ando Venegas from Venezuela, she defeated her teammate. She lifted phenomenally. 103 snatch, something in the high 20s, I think it was in a clean and jerk. Elreen Ando. Duck walks out that 100 kilo snatch, hits 128 personal best. Is that the most we're going to see from her? Or are these two athletes, they're still relatively young. Do they have another, couple of kilos in each lift, or did we see it?
Yeah. I mean, it's a good point. I do think there have to be some athletes that did the best performance they're ever going to do in Thailand. Getting themselves on the Olympic team was their Olympics basically, right?
Yeah.
And it's tough to pinpoint exactly which ones, right? But yeah, I mean, you could be right. These two, it could even be both. You know, Ando had a huge fight to get here.
Yeah.
And that might be it. You know, it's like maybe goes for a bigger total, but it's a struggle, or you know, maybe only makes a little bit of an improvement, a couple kilos or something. But yeah, that's a tough one.
I mean, Elreen just smashed it.
That was so good. That was such a great battle and a great performance from her.
It was phenomenal.
That was fun.
But I mean, yeah, like you said, I mean, I think a lot of these athletes I look at and I think Yenny Alvarez, we've seen the best from her.
Yeah.
Luo Shifang, we've seen you try as hard as you can. I'm not sure we've seen her best, but we've seen her give max effort. Kamila Konotop, max effort. Kuo Hsing-chun, she's not going to do those numbers again. The only person where I feel like you are building into this performance step by step is Maude.
Yeah.
It feels like
it's true.
Meet by meet, she's revealing a little bit more of what she can do. And come competition day, she can do slightly better than she's done. I'm not saying she will, you know, there's a lot of pressure on that, but the other athletes, I feel like they've played their hand.
Yeah.
You know, we know what they can do. I don't feel totally convinced that we've seen the best from Maude yet.
I mean, Maude's best total is 240. Ever.
Was that Pan Am Champs 2021?
That was, 2020. Pan Americans 2020.
Held in 2021.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would have been...
Same comp that Jordan hit the 200
in
the 49s, yeah.
And that's interesting because 240, and if she's
She was a 64 though, right?
Yeah, she's 64, but I mean, it doesn't seem like, you know, she's that far from that right now. It was 107, 133. She's done 106, 130.
Yeah.
I mean, could we see a 240-ish total from her? And that would be... If she does anything close to that, if she does 240, then Konotop has no chance to catch that. So. I don't think so.
And I don't think that Kuo can.
Yeah, that's the question.
The
question with Kuo would be, we'll know basically once the snatches start.
Once the snatch starts, yeah.
Because her opening snatch is going to determine so much. If we don't see a very solid, very, very solid 100+,
104.
Yeah, she's got to get to 104 to catch a 240 total.
Yeah, totally.
Which is actually pretty remarkable when you think about where this is at now. I mean, Kuo Hsing-chun was, Kuo Hsing-chun was amazing.
Yeah.
And looked at as like this, the best there is. And that's the way the sport goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll be interesting. This is going to be a good session.
I mean, do you remember 2019 World Champs? And it was Kuo versus the North Korean, whose name I'm blanking. And they did 107 and 108 back to back. And it was like, I think Kuo equaled the world record, and the North Korean set it by 1 or something like that. And now we've got Maude a kilo behind.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of athletes here. I mean, almost all of them can snatch over 100. I think they all have, actually.
Yeah.
Lucrezia, she misses a lot.
Yeah.
I think we were looking at some of her numbers during this qualifying page sheet. But we don't know what... that was Italy's strategy to get to the Olympics.
To miss lots of lifts, yeah.
To just go all out, take the big attempts. Now that they're there, Lucrezia might open at 94, 97, 99. She might be okay to do that and just, she's not going to try and fight for a medal, I hope.
I have a feeling...
Are they going to go full Italy?
My hunch is that they're...
Now they've made it. Now it starts.
Yeah.
You want to see big attempts?
I think the saying goes, dance with the one you brung.
Right.
So if that's how they got there, they might as well, let's just, what's your best? Put a kilo on that. We'll open there. Okay. And let's find out what happens.
Yeah. What's the Olympic record? Perfect. Load it up.
Take a shot.
Yeah.
You make that, we take a stab at gold. I don't know. Yeah. But I mean, everyone in the session is strong. Everyone over 100 in the snatch as a personal best. Whoa,
let's just run through those Olympic records because they are going to be all of them will be set multiple times, I imagine. Or certainly the snatch. 103 is the snatch Olympic record by Kuo.
Yeah.
So I think we've got 3 or 4, 5 people who can beat that 1 kilo by 1 kilo. The clean jerk record 133 from Kuo. That's definitely going by Luo Shifang.
Yeah.
And then the total 236 that's going. The world records 111 Kim Il-gyong, 140 Kuo, 248 Luo Shifang. So I'm not convinced we'll see a world record.
I would be surprised to see a world record. Maybe a total world record would be the 249.
or 141.
Yeah,
because
or
Luo
41.
did the 140.
Yeah.
She's equaled the world record.
I could see that, but it's also like Luo Shifang's, 248 to second place being 236 right now.
Right.
She's
got such a lead.
It's a lead, yeah, and
she
it's
might
like
not need it.
She just can be conservative and win this, and it's really not like a big.
She might not take a final attempt.
Maybe the clean and jerk, right? Maybe it's over by second attempt clean and jerk.
Yeah.
And she just waits and then takes a world record.
You think she might? Yeah.
That would be the one scenario I think is kind of most likely.
But the 112 that's a reach for her.
Yeah, that's big.
We haven't seen her get close. She hasn't hit the 110 mark. She hasn't attempted it yet. So no. I think the snatch is not going to go.
Yeah.
Do you want to make some predictions?
Oh, well, I mean, I think
we
obviously
can agree on gold.
Yeah, gold is Luo Shifang, but the question for me, we're looking Konotop, Charron both have 236.
Yeah.
Let's put Alvarez in there at 234. That little grouping of those three, I have to put Maude.
Wait, which three are you doing? Konotop, Maude,
and Alvarez.
You're not putting Kuo in?
I'm not putting Kuo in yet. So I'm saying those three.
Okay.
The top of those three, I'm going to say, is going to be Maude. 236 Maude is, in my opinion, more likely than a 236 from Konotop, or let's say 237, whatever it is. I think Charron is going to be silver. Then it's a question of how well does Konotop lift, and how well does Alvarez lift. I would probably put Konotop to edge out Alvarez.
Okay.
The question now, though, is
Kuo.
What does Kuo do?
Yeah.
Could Kuo do a 237 total?
Yeah.
And I'm just saying what we have here because we can assume it's going to be close to these numbers. If Kuo has been sandbagging this whole time, or wasn't in shape but now is in shape, could she get as high as silver?
Right.
I don't know. That's a question I can't answer because I have so little data. Maybe it's just more of a bias. I can't answer because I know she's so good and has been so good, but I have not seen any evidence to support that she will repeat anything close to that.
I think you have to look at recent performances and not get too carried away by what has happened in the past.
But it's so, to me, it's so easy to say, could she make a 235, a 135 clean and jerk and a 102 snatch? Like, those are lifts that she's kind of near.
Yeah.
And those would put her ahead of these people.
Potentially.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, yeah. I would say if I was, the sure thing for me is going to be Luo Shifang, Maude Charron, Kamila Konotop. The wild card is if Kuo shows up in any kind of shape, could be silver.
I've opened my little notebook.
Yeah. What did we have?
So it's interesting. These predictions, Max, we made on the 13th of May.
Oh, wow.
So this is what you said for 59. Luo Shifang, Maude, Konotop, and then you wrote Kuo Hsing-chun with a question mark as a wild card. So you haven't changed.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with my original prediction. Luo Shifang, Maude, Kuo.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I put that back then, and I'm going to stick with it now. I think that Kuo will beat Kamila Konotop. Yeah.
And I
She's
would
got a clean and jerk on her that I think is too...
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
she just has to stick one.
Konotop could have 4 kilo lead in the snatch, but I don't see Konotop hitting 30.
No.
Whereas I can see I can see Kuo Hsing-chun. She's got all that experience hitting the 32, 33, 34, something in and around there, and getting herself a medal. So I think that's where I'm going.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I think that's probably a good call. Again, though, it's like
I'm looking forward to seeing.
Yeah, this is going to be a great session because it's so hard to know exactly where Kuo is.
And then there's another world where Yenny Alvarez, Venegas, Elreen, you just don't know.
Someone could sneak in. It could also be a total disaster for somebody. There could be a bomb out, and that could just move everyone around.
There's nothing I hate more at the Olympics than a bomb out. It's
rough.
like, when you watch the sprinting and someone false starts.
Oh, yeah.
And at the Olympics, that's automatic disqualification.
It's just done.
And you just think your whole life has led to this. Your family, your friends, your coaches, you get there and you do that. Some of these athletes, they struggle to deal with that for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
You just never want to see it.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, I hope I hope there are no prolific bomb outs at this Olympic Games.
Yeah, bomb outs would not be good.
No, that would be that would be devastating. Another question. We know that we don't know yet. We don't know what the judging is going to be like on pressing. Have we got anyone that would kind of, I'm nervous for Kuo.
Yeah, she's the one that would be.
She's the one. I mean, I hate to bring it up again, but like that 110 snatch world record that she had would be red lighted so fast in today's landscape.
She gets 6 red lights for that one.
Yeah. I mean, the jury might intervene and give her 3 whites for some reason because the
IWF president might intervene.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they might pull a Murakami, if you will, on that situation. But I think she's got to be a little bit nervous, whereas someone like a Shifang or a Charron they just don't need to worry about the lockout. They're all good there.
I'm gonna say right now,
you can't change your mind.
No. I'm gonna say right now, I think that a judging scenario that is harsh could have a very strong impact on some of these sessions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I don't feel like that's been the case in the qualification period. There's been some lifts that have been...
There have been some bad calls.
Really bad, but they haven't had a major impact. It hasn't I wouldn't say any of those...
We've not had an upset to the gold medalist.
Yes, or cost somebody a spot because they had a tiny bobble or something.
Right,
or someone else had a really bad press out and got ahead.
But for me, it's in many ways for the sake of the millions of people in the general public who don't watch weightlifting, who then tune into it, and someone makes an amazing lift, and then it doesn't count, and they have no idea why.
It's so disappointing.
Yeah. I mean, it's still the most common comment on the Weightlifting House YouTube is that press out rule is terrible, or the judging is so inconsistent. And you have to feel for the spectators. It does feel as though a lot of these athletes, futures are determined by these judges who sit there.
Yeah, it can be brutal.
Yeah, it really can. Okay, so that's the 59s. You can catch our watch party. It's going to be on Thursday at Weightlifting House TV. Tune in to me and Max watching that live here in the studio. And you can get the results at weightliftinghouse.com, where we've got our Paris weightlifting sale. You can get over 50% off at the sale. So we'll put those links down below. Saar has just set a snatch world record. Only just, but he does make it.
Ritvars now 184.
You can't drop your back knee any lower than that. Become the number 2 ranked 102 in the world if he makes this lift. Gets under the bar.
Look at that save. What a
fight. He holds it. The 73 kilo weight category at the Paris Olympic Games might be, it's become the one, from my experience over the last few months, having spent time with a bunch of weightlifters, having spent time with you, it's the one that has become the most discussed of all categories.
Yeah. This one seems uneventful to me. We can just pass over it, I think.
Yeah, nothing's going to happen. Yeah. And I think part of that reason is because of how we got here.
The drama that got us here, and the documentary.
Yeah,
if you haven't seen it, the documentary in the 73s.
Well, that's another good reason. Just if you're here, if you want to jump on Weightlifting House TV for the watch party, you can watch the Last Chance episode 2, which is the upset of the 73s. It's phenomenal.
Yeah,
it's an unbelievable bit of content. 45 minutes.
Yeah, easily one of the best pieces of weightlifting content I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, I mean, just the drama to get here has been just incredible. And now you have big questions. I have really big questions.
Yeah.
So
I think I'll run through the names, and then rather than go through the story of Rizki, I'd quite like to go through the battle of Rizki and Rahmat throughout qualification, because I think you can't understand one without the other.
Right.
Okay, so in the men's 73s, Rizki Juniansyah is the world number 1 from Indonesia. He has got the world record totals, 365. Below him at number 2, Shi Zhiyong from China. Masanori Miyamoto, Japan. Weeraphon Wichuma, Dark Horse, Thailand. He's in at number 4. Bozhidar Andreev, number 5, Bulgaria. Bakju Yo, Korea. Ritvars Suharevs, Latvia. Mohamed Ozbek, Turkey. Julio Mayor, Venezuela. Luis Mosquera, Colombia. Karim Bentnia, Tunisia, and then the host nation spot goes to Bernardin from France. I mean, that is just such a, when you're reading out 8, 9, 10, you've got Mayor, you've got Mosquera. You just think the depth of this. I mean, didn't Mosquera medal at the last Olympics? Now he's just sneaking in at number 10. This category is blown up.
Oh, it's going to be, I mean, this has been a wild category.
Yeah.
Just so much going on here too. I mean, you've got an interesting category too, because it pulled, like a lot of the categories, it pulled people from above and below.
Yeah, it did.
You have...
You've got Ritvars and Bozhidar coming down, and you've got a bunch coming up.
Yeah. It's just like...
And at the start of this category, during qualifying period, when you turned up in 2022, there was a real and noticeable power vacuum.
Yeah.
With no Shi Zhiyong, it felt like, it had the chance of being a dull category. We didn't really know. There were no superstars yet. Rizki was a 2-time junior world champ. I knew about him, but he wasn't a big name.
No.
We'd just seen Rahmat hit a pretty good clean and jerk at the Asian champs in Bahrain. We watched and commentated on that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he was not a name that people knew.
What did he do in Bahrain?
I want to say he hit like a 196 or 197. He did something
sub-200.
It was sub-200 because he hit the world record in Colombia.
He wouldn't be on here, right?
Oh, yeah, we'd have to pull him up elsewhere. But, yeah, I think it was something in the mid to high 90s. And I remember we thought, that's big.
Yeah.
And so, we talked about this yesterday, but we said to each other, we were in the training hall, we said, we need to go to the B session and get on the mics now.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think he's going to do a world record. Yeah. And he did.
The 200, right?
Yeah. And I think what's so interesting about that, there are so many crazy things about this category, is that he missed the 200 the first time.
Yeah.
And he waited 2 minutes, and then he came out and made it. Oh. And then a year and a half later, this time at the Asian Championships, he hits a world record, waits 2 minutes, comes back out, makes another world record. And then in Thailand, misses a world record, rests 30 seconds, and misses the world record, and goes from being the guy who drove this category forward, was becoming one of the top 2 or 3 faces in men's weightlifting, and doesn't go to the Olympics. And you can't even feel like Rizki didn't deserve it, because what Rizki did was hit a total that no other 73's ever done.
Yeah.
Rahmat's not done it, Shi Zhiyong's not done it, and the way that Rizki did it, the courage, the bravery, was staggering.
It's such a, I mean, you couldn't even script it. You couldn't write this out in a way that it unfolded. The fact that it just looked like such a sure thing. And we're seeing B session world records, just dominant performances.
He'd weigh in at 81. He'd set a world record weighing 76 kilos.
Right, just crushing everything along the way. And it comes down to literally one event, one lift in Thailand.
Right.
And that whole quad.
Yeah.
Not that it didn't mean anything. They're amazing performances. He did fantastic and everything. But it was like so, I want to say unexpected, but so shocking.
It was shocking.
That the way it ended that way. Yeah. And I don't think anyone expected that.
No. Because they had battled it out.
Yeah.
In Colombia, Rahmat was B session. He set the 200 world record. Rizki came out in the A session, snatched a gold, tried to hit a big clean and jerk to move ahead of the B session total by Rahmat. Couldn't do it. Took silver. So Rahmat's 1-0.
Yeah.
Then they go to Worlds. Rizki, appendix, operation, he's out. Rahmat goes in at 81, world record. Rahmat continues to set world records. He goes to Qatar. He attempts 214, misses it, but he cleans it, right? And then they meet again finally at the Asian Championships. Rizki looks amazing. Rahmat sets 2 world records, smokes him.
Yeah.
And you're just like, well,
that's it.
You felt bad for it. I remember feeling bad for Rizki because I thought, you're the second best in the world.
Yeah.
If you competed for any other country, you can go to the Olympics.
Yeah.
And then we turn up in Thailand and we ask him, do you think you can beat Rahmat and Shi? And he says, oh, yeah.
I just find that to be extraordinary because anyone looking from the outside, an athlete's going to say a lot of positive things. They're going to believe they're this way or that way.
Right.
But when you look from the outside, that kind of statement is so, it wasn't even like oh, well, we'll see how the day goes. I'm going to try my best. He was sure.
He was, yeah.
He was sure. He was it was like a Carlos Nassar sure,
Yeah.
Like no one can touch me.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how it went. But like it didn't go in that way, where Rizki took the last lift to beat him.
No.
He did everything he had to up front, and
everything was perfect for him.
Yeah,
I mean, you said that you see it as arguably one of the most courageous lifts of the entire.
Oh yeah.
Of weightlifting was a 9-kilo jump in the snatch.
I don't know if I've seen
155 to 164.
And I just that's such a radical
Thailand.
jump. That's so huge.
It's
a 9-kilo jump to a weight that big.
Well, like you said, Lasher doesn't take 9 kilo jumps.
I mean, I can't think of any other athlete I've seen take a 9-kilo jump in the snatch.
What's that? A 7% jump?
Yeah,
7-8%
somewhere
jump?
like that. Yeah, I mean it's enormous.
Yeah, it's like Lasher jumping 15 kilos.
Yeah, I mean if Lasha opened at 115 or 215.
It's like jumping to 229.
Jumped to
like
228.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
You would just be like, what is he
attempts.
doing?
Yeah.
What is going on here?
Yeah, you'd believe that Rizki had taken a lift in the back room, but he didn't. We've got the cameras. He didn't. He went back and he sat there quietly.
And actually, when you think about what other strategy he could have employed, he could have gone 155, 160. When 164 went on the bar, I actually said on the commentary, that's got to be a placeholder.
Yeah,
He's
did.
Doing that so he can bump down to 61.
See what Rahmat does.
Let Rahmat do 60, come in, get ahead, and then try to make a 64 or 60.
And he let Rahmat do 60.
Yeah.
And Rahmat wobbled. And then he didn't drop. He let Rahmat go for 62. And he, again, Rahmat missed. And again, he didn't drop.
Yeah.
And he said in the interview when we asked him, like, why 64? And he was like, we thought that we thought that Rahmat could do 205.
Yeah.
204. And we didn't think he'd be able to do more than that. So they went with
He just knew he needed
because he knew he could do 200, 201.
Yeah.
So we thought we have to push Rahmat beyond the world record in the clean and jerk. And the fact that he missed it and then made it was just...
That's amazing.
And we should now thread into this whole story the fact that then Shi Zhiyong just comes out, and we haven't seen him compete in... Well, we saw him in Qatar, I suppose, but he didn't lift. He snatched all right, but he didn't clean jerk well or anything. But we hadn't seen him... I mean, Shi Zhiyong was just like...
We didn't even really see him do a lot of clean and jerks. Like
No. He did
training
160.
hall, he did some light lifts.
He smoked 165 snatch.
Yeah, and then even at was it in Saudi? He snatched in the warm-up room.
He hit 160 in the training hall in Saudi as well.
I think he did it in the warm-ups.
He did,
too, and then he just didn't do the clean and jerk.
No, he didn't even come out.
Yeah.
He didn't take the lift.
He didn't lift, right, yeah.
He went in the back room, snatched 160, freaked everyone out in the B session, and then
he was like,
walked
see
off.
you later.
Well, you said it to me, is I don't know what's a better story.
Yeah.
In Paris. Rizki winning or Shi winning?
Yeah.
Shi winning is a 3-time Olympic gold medalist, and just the most, you wouldn't believe it, that he could come back from the amount of, you see in this documentary, he's in so much pain, it gives you a whole nother level of respect for Shi Zhiyong. Or Rizki, just this phenomenal story.
I think that, the sort of interesting subtext here of this whole session is that, this whole category is that you can be the most die-hard fan behind all three of them. Because they all have earned that, they've all earned that fandom from you in different ways. You know, Rahmat's just amazing, but then at the end, it's this like devastation, and you just feel for him. Like you just...
Haunt him.
Yeah, exactly. Rizki, like,
He's so lovable.
I'm going to do it. And puts the weight on the bar that he has to do, fights his way through and makes it. Had no more in him.
No.
164, 201. There is not a kilo more. He tried the 203 when Clarked it, right?
Yeah.
And then Shi, who you could be a huge fan of for this almost like, godlike power that he had when he first came out, that 190 power clean. And you see him as this like just unimaginably strong, just insane figure. But now he's the other way around, and he's the veteran. He's
the underdog.
Yeah, he was in so much pain. He was like just grinding his way through.
Yeah.
And he has this sort of like personality that's emerged over the last few years.
This
that's been
fisherman.
Yeah, so fun to see, and he feels human.
Yeah.
Right. So you have this thing with these three athletes that are just like you can't hate any of them. There's nothing. None of them are the villain. And so it's so hard to watch and say, I don't really know who I want to win, but I'm going to be happy whoever it is.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm almost, my selection for who I want to win out of these three, obviously Rahmat's not going to be there, but is more to do with reducing the pain of someone not winning.
Yeah, right.
It's like, I think Shi Zhiyong can handle silver.
Yeah.
And
he's
you know what?
2-time gold, right?
In some ways, I think Rizki can handle silver.
Yeah.
I don't think Rahmat can handle Rizki taking silver. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like I need to see Rizki win because for Rahmat missing out on it, he needs to at least know that the guy that beat him took the gold.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's just going to be like, and you didn't even win.
Yeah, you didn't even win.
I would have smoked Shi Zhiyong.
Yeah.
That's what Rahmat's going to think. And so it's for Rahmat's sake, I need Rizki to take the gold.
Yeah, that's the best way you could possibly put it. And it's one of those things where you're just like, it's such a, I feel too the placings in the Olympics here are going to be very challenging to be sure of, because I don't know. The reality could be that both of the men here in first and second did their best lifting in Thailand.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
And so it could very well be that this is
definitely Rizki.
This is well, yeah.
Because she is improving again.
But this could be them like crawling over the finish line.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a who's not gonna die.
Although, what did Rizki just jerk? Was it 215?
Yeah, Rizki does.
He double 200 or something.
Yeah, and they're both incredible athletes, and Rizki
phenomenal.
could be on an upward trajectory where we haven't seen before.
Yeah,
He could very well,
he could snatch 166.
Yeah, if Rizki goes in and breaks the world record again, does a 203 clean and jerk. I mean, that could be.
Or even if he did 66 200, that's a world record total.
Yeah, that could be like the greatest performance we've ever seen, right? Where
it's almost like we've seen Shi Zhiyong the snatcher.
Yeah.
Yes, he was a great clean and jerker, but he didn't have competition. Like him hitting 198 as his best ever is low for what he. Yeah. It's kind of low, really.
Yeah.
Rahmat is this insane clean and jerker.
Yeah.
But he snatches in the 50s normally.
Yeah.
He's hit 60 once. Rizki's the first guy where you're over 60, you're over 200.
Yeah.
He's not going to set world records in either lift, but he could be the guy who pushes the world record total so far away from the other two's capabilities.
Right. Oh man.
I mean, and then I don't even know if we can get into what happened in the clean and jerks because it's just too insane. We've got other athletes we need to go through. We've got to touch on. Well, we've got a few stories. I mean, Masanori Miyamoto, he's one of those guys, he sneaks under the radar, the Japanese athlete, but then he turned up, because he's like a 335, 340, 344, and then he turned up at the World Cup. I don't even think he took his last attempt clean and jerk. He snatched 158, he clean and jerked 192, and then he declined. 350 total. I wonder though, in that 73 kilo class, I felt like several people had the performance of their lives.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I wonder if we're not going to be able to see him improve beyond that. It's the same with someone like Park Ju-yo, who had to beat Lee Sang. 150, 195. He cleaned 199.
Yeah.
That's more than Shi Zhiyong's made in competition in the clean and jerk.
Right.
So I think some of these guys peaked for Thailand to beat their teammate.
I agree. Yeah.
And same with me. Like, have we seen the best of Ozbek? I certainly hope not. But he's
one where I would say, having seen him from 22 Europeans on to now, I feel he's at the limit. I don't think we're going to see a bigger. Like, I just don't know what he would do.
He's had a couple big performances though.
Yeah.
He smoked Gench at the Europeans.
Yeah.
Then he smoked him again in Thailand.
152, 192.
Yeah. He's not going to hit 95, and he's
Yeah.
not going to hit 55.
Yeah, that would be an amazing performance from him, but I don't
puts
even
him out
know
of
if
the
it's
running.
going to get there.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at this, if we look at the start list and you see Miyamoto with 350 and Shi with 356.
Right.
Clearly Shi is going to be fighting for gold.
Mm-hmm.
But is there a world where Shi misses a snatch and there's a fight between Miyamoto and Shi?
For what?
Silver.
I don't think...
You don't think Miyamoto could get that high?
No, I just think that we've not even thought about Weeraphon.
That's true.
We've not thought about Bozhidar.
Yeah.
Like, Bozhidar's been looking good. He lifted tremendously well at the European Champs in front of a home crowd.
Great in Bulgaria.
And then, he went to the World Cup and trained but didn't lift. And we saw him snatch 160 in the training hall.
Yeah.
In Bulgaria, he did 348. He did 349 before that. So he's, and then Weeraphon was this guy where he kept clean jerking 195. He did it a few times, and he wanted 200. And he was absolutely, we thought he was going to become the new world number 2 behind Rahmat. And then he just lifted really poorly in Thailand.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was a one-off, but I thought he was a 200-kilo clean and jerker. I thought he was going to be that guy. And I could so see him become a bronze medalist here. It's possible. I'm not saying he will.
Yeah, it's such a tough question. I would say you've got those three. You've got Miyamoto, Weeraphon, and Andreev.
Yeah. And Masanori. Yeah, Miyamoto, yeah.
Those three,
yeah.
I mean, Bozhidar. Those three are going to have a brutal fight to get a bronze.
A bronze.
I think predictably.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's going to look. Yeah. The big question that I think I really want there to be a bigger fight between Rizki and Shi.
Yeah, I want that to be amazing.
I want that to be awesome.
I think it will be.
And then everything below that is going to be it's lift for lift, probably.
It's a 6. If any of them go 6 or 6, Masanori, Wichuma, Bozhidar. I mean, even.
And Masanori could add another 3 kilos to that.
I mean, what did Ritvars hit? I know he didn't do tremendously well in Thailand, but in terms of his recent performances, he won at the European Champs 2023, and then he also looked really good in Qatar. He beat Shi. He won in Qatar, 156, but 185.
Yeah, it's just not. He doesn't have the power there.
If you're not in the 90s,
yeah.
You're not getting a medal at this Olympic Games. 341 is his best, and I just...
Could Bozhidar do a bigger than 350?
I mean, it feels like he can. I mean, I could absolutely see 55-95.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see a huge clean and jerk. He's such a good jerk.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be this session will be. There's just so much emotion wrapped up into it because you have all of the fan base of Rahmat watching, needing
Rizki
to win.
Do you think there are some fans of Rahmat who want? I mean, there were some people that I remember speaking to at Thailand after Rizki won, who definitely don't now want to see Rizki win.
Oh, for sure.
They were angry that he beat Rahmat, and they want to see him lose.
I mean,
which is, kind of crazy. Yeah. I would love to see him smash it. But
everyone's got their haters, right?
Yeah, he's definitely got it. Yeah, we know.
There are some haters. Yeah. But I would say, it's almost like there's so much pressure on Rizki to perform, not necessarily on him, but from the fan base to say, well, if he's going to go, he's got to get gold. Then we don't feel as bad that he took it from Rahmat, or Rahmat, gave it up. But then there's that Shi thing, which is like, you kind of are behind it. Like, you kind of want him to. I mean, personally, I've gotten way more behind Shi, and I really want to see.
Yeah.
I want to see a heroic effort from him.
Yeah.
He's done that the last meets, but I would love to see him. I
want to see him win the snatch.
Yeah, I think he'll get the snatch. Unfortunately, there's no medals in the Olympics for snatch, but he's probably going to do very well in the snatch. But do we get a world where Shi has to take a massive but doable clean and jerk,
196,
and goes for it, and really goes
and makes
for it.
Yeah, and forces Rizki to do a 200 again.
Yeah,
I would like to see him.
That would be a great.
I want to see Rizki show that it wasn't a fluke.
Yeah, to prove it, right?
To prove it, yeah.
Oof.
Okay, so prediction time. World records, by the way, 169.
Yeah.
204, 365.
Yeah.
I think the only realistic one is the 365.
The total, yeah.
The Olympic records, I actually have no idea what those are. Let's take a quick look at those and see if they're going to be touched. 166, 198, 364. They're all Shi Zhiyong from Tokyo. I mean, we'd need to see a 167.
If there's any man that's going to try it, it would be Shi.
It's him. 199 would be needed.
Ooh,
it's only Rizki who could do it.
Do that, yeah.
And then 364. Rizki's done 365 for the world record, so it's possible.
Yeah.
Prediction time.
I'm going
to look into my little. I wish it was a black book, but it's not. My little notebook and see what we predicted back in May. See if we've changed.
The prediction versus what I want to see.
You have to remove
different.
your.
So the prediction for me is going to be Rizki in first, Shi in second.
And you don't want to see that. Is that what you're saying? That's your prediction, but it's not what you want.
I would say. I guess the outcome's
that
not.
That is shocking to me.
The outcome.
I feel betrayed.
The outcome is not as much as. It's not so much that I want to see either one of them win more than the other.
Right.
I want to see the performance. I just want to see.
Same.
I want to see the fight. So Rizki probably going to win in reality. Like, he's going to do a similar total, and he maybe takes a smaller jump in the clean and jerk and opens light enough that he gets a shot at 202 or 203 and just can't be beat. Rizki, Shi. I'm still going to go.
Bronze is so hard. You're going to go Masanori, aren't you?
I know that I said Masanori before.
Oh.
And the only one that I think I'm a little unsure of is Bozhidar.
Yeah.
Is he going to be in better shape here? Mm-hmm. And in a kind of shape that we haven't seen before? He's always looked good.
Yeah.
It's the question of, can he put like another 5 kilos on one of those lifts?
He's had press-out calls as well.
Yeah.
But Miyamoto's not getting press-out calls.
And Miyamoto didn't take that 6th. Like, is he have a little more in the tank? Third is so hard to predict here.
So
I'm
going to join you, by the way, with Rizki, Shi, and then I worry that we're sleeping on Weeraphon.
That's very possible. I mean, it's
in the clean and jerk. If he can go 55,
and
then 95.
Yeah, he's a very strong clean and jerker.
I'll say this. I think 350 is bronze. I know they can all do it, but I don't think they all will.
Yeah.
Because not everybody competes at their best every time. I think whoever hits 350 will do it. And I'm going to say... My mind says Masanori, but my heart says Bozhidar.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too.
But ask me 6 months ago, I'd have said Weeraphon.
Yeah.
And so I'm also thinking to myself, do I need to...
It's hard. This is the hardest one probably because it's so
It's not
close.
as hard as the 102s.
Oh, the 102s is
It's impossible.
The 102s is just looking into a black hole. You have no idea what's going to happen.
The 102s, when we make our predictions, there's a chance that other than gold, which we could also be wrong about.
Yeah,
because
I
know who we're going to say, and it could end up being Akbar or someone. we could be both wrong about every single position.
Oh, yeah, easily.
We might not get one thing right.
Yeah.
All right, I just need to look at Weeraphon's snatches before I can make a full decision. Okay, so his last few comps, 147, 145, 156,
Oh, yeah.
154, 150. Okay, I don't feel confident enough in him. And Bozhidar bronze.
You going Bozhidar?
I'm going Bozhidar.
Yeah. I think that's probably a good call.
But you're going
I want to say Bozhidar,
Masanori.
but I also just have this feeling that we're not going to get that. I don't know. I would agree. I'm going to say Bozhidar. I think that he's probably got a great performance in him. He's done big lifts. I mean, he's done very big lifts.
That 158 was just...
Yeah.
All right, should we take a look at what we once said?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, good to know. Mine has not changed.
Yeah. I
Since
switched
May.
Miyamoto.
Rizki, Shi, Bozzy. Yours hasn't changed. Rizki, Shi, Miyamoto.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we haven't changed.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel like I have more context.
Right.
In the last few months, I feel like more has happened in training. My mindset has adjusted, having seen Thailand now, and yet I have the same predictions.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be an insane battle, that 73 kilo class. And then, I mean, can you imagine what's going to happen in Bahrain at the World Championships in December when Rizki and Rahmat
go head
meet again? Because, like you said, I mean, Rahmat might be entering this, you hate to use the term villain, but this like villain arc of like, you stole my place.
I'm never losing again.
I am never losing again. Yeah. And he just, the next few months while the Olympics is on, do you think he's watching the Olympics? If you had to bet, is he watching the 73s?
I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't know if he can tolerate it. Yeah. My guess is he will. That'd be my guess.
Yeah.
Do we see a 370 total?
What, from Rahmat?
Rahmat in Bahrain. Does he just say?
I mean, that's the thing. Is like, still, if someone said to me, despite the fact that Rizki's got the world record at 365, if someone said, who in a year's time is going to hit 370, I'd still go back to Rahmat.
Yeah, 162, 208.
Easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy, but you believe it. Yeah. 165.
Oh, yeah.
208.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. You start thinking that he could be doing a low 370s.
Yeah, these are just... But we'll see, right?
We'll see.
We have no idea. This could all be a totally different world at the end of this. It could be nothing like we just predicted.
Right.
Who knows? There could be a bomb out. There could be anything. Someone could pull out, be hurt.
Oh, no, I can't have any bomb outs.
Yeah.
I can't handle that emotionally.
No, it's too much.
Yeah. Well, if you want to watch us break down emotionally, then tune into the Weightlifting House TV Paris Weightlifting Watch Party. We're going to be here on Thursday. The first session are the women's 59s, then it's the men's 73s. Max and I are going to be sitting, watching, and talking about everything that's going on. So you can see that at Weightlifting House TV, where you can also see the 73 kilo documentary, which is amazing. Yeah. If you just want the results, head to weightliftinghouse.com. Full results there. We're going to have loads of information about the sessions as well. And we've got the Paris Weightlifting House sale. Go and buy two, get a third free, get sales on top of that, get free shipping, all that sort of stuff. It's an amazing sale, so go and check that out too. We'll put the links down below and enjoy the sessions.